Hello there and welcome back once again. It's Fabio Mezzogori and I hope you're having a great day so far. So, peer-to-peer or P2p lending is now becoming quite a common investment, and it seems that a lot of people, or at least here in the UK, started to invest in it. If you are still not familiar with P2P lending, by the end of this video I'm going to explain you what it is and how it works so you can make your final call and understand if it's worthy or not for you to invest in it. So make sure to stay tuned until the end, and also if you're not part of the community yet but you're interested to learn more about saving, investing and trading topics, make sure to subscribe to the channel, which is, by the way, completely free, so I'll notify you every time I upload a new video. Let's get started now. There are several websites out there, and it seems that they are keep growing day after day, and all they do is basically act as an intermediate, as a broker, if you like, between the borrower and the lender. They are nothing more, okay, than, I don't know if this word exists, but than an electronic middleman, okay, that matches people who need money with people who have money to lend, and of course for a profit. Many of the P2P platforms, as you probably may have seen already, have a better rate than banks, and this is of course due to the fact that they have a way less overhead. And also, apart from the lower overhead, this is due to the fact that they don't risk their money either, but they put your capital as a lender to work for you. Okay, they are just the middleman. The beauty to invest in P2P lending is the fact that you can start lending money as a normal bank does. However, many of these platforms, I would say if not all, okay, give you the advantage to start with an amount as low as $25 or £25 per loan, all right? Another part that makes P2P interesting and low risk investment is the fact that they have a system in place that split your investment across several borrowers at the same time. So you will never have your money, let's say, tied up with a single borrower at any time, regardless the amount you invest. So your investment will be spread over several borrowers. With this system, you will basically have your investment split across several borrowers at the same time. If you're borrowing money, then nothing changes for you, all right? However, if you are a lender, this is absolutely important for you, fundamental for you to understand, because it means that when you lend money across several people, you are actually lowering exponentially the risk to not getting paid back. I give you an example so it would be easier to understand. If you decide to invest $1,000 or £1,000 in a peer-to-peer platform, and they spread this £1,000 across 40 different people, 40 different borrowers, even if one of these default and will not pay you back whatsoever, you won't lose all of your investment, but just a tiny fraction of it, such as $25 or £25 in this specific example. Also, you don't just lose only a tiny fraction, but with the interest that you will earn from the other loss that will pay you back, you will make up for this loss plus all the interest. All right, so this is the reason why I called a safe investment before. And if this is not enough, there are also other platforms out there that not only spread the risk for you by default, so let's say they will insure, if you like, your capital against major losses, but they also have their own insurance like a normal bank does. So basically, these insurance will cover you from any loss that could happen, so your principal will never be at risk, okay? Of course, there is a catch-22 going with this insurance, because the lower the risk for you, of course, the lower your return on investment will be. However, this insurance helps you first to be protected from any loss, and second, allows you to not only sleep at night, but also allow you to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm as well. Now that you smashed that like button and understood what peer-to-peer lending is all about, let's come down to to the main reason why you want to invest in P2P, such as what's in it for you, what's the return you're gonna get from it. The interest rate charged by those platforms follows the same principle that banks use to lend money, which is based on the credit worthiness of the individual, such as the single borrower. When you register on this platform as a borrower, they run a check on you to see your past experiences and your current credit score, and they will categorize you under one of these grades. Okay? As you can imagine, the more secure you are, the lower the interest rate applied to you will be. This is as a borrower. As a lender, on the opposite side of the spectrum, if you are a lender, it works completely the other way around. So the more secure your money will be, the lower the interest rate you're gonna get. And also, apart from it, it depends on the length on the contract itself. So for example, you can decide to lend money for 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. So all of these parameters together will affect your final return on investment. By the way, you can set all this information on the platform itself. You can also decide to spread your risk across several of these parameters. For example, you can decide to invest part of your portfolio on a short-term high-risk investment and part of your portfolio in a long-term low-risk environment. So basically, you decide based on your goals and risk tolerance, if that makes sense. So what I said so far is basically the main concept of how peer-to-peer lending works. Then, of course, it's not all flowers and daisies. There are also some drawbacks, but those depends on each and every platform. The concept of peer-to-peer is equal across the board, but then eventually every platform is different. All right. So before investing money, you have to do absolutely your own due diligence and make sure that your money is safe, or at least safe based on your parameters. There are platforms that give you, for example, a higher return but are riskier. Other platforms where the return looks interesting, but eventually you've got to pay high fees. In other platforms, for example, there's no fees, but the return are lower. So before committing yourself to tied up money anywhere, just make sure you know what you're doing. Another important part that you have to consider, even though, let's say, it's becoming less important over time due to the popularity of this platform here, this P2P platform, lending platform, is the lack of liquidity, nonetheless. For example, if you decide to tie up your money in a long-term loan, say 5 years, and for any reason you decide to back up from it before the final date, it means that someone else needs to replace you somehow. You cannot go to the borrower and say, hey, give me my money back because now I need them. Okay, so there is an agreement, an official agreement in place between the lender, such as you, and the borrower. That it means that you've got to wait until someone else will replace you. Okay, so you cannot step back from the loan when you decide to. Again, this is not the main issue any longer because more and more people are getting into peer-to-peer. So you say you'll get your money back faster and faster over time, but the platform will probably charge you high fees. So again, make sure to know all the terms and conditions of the platform you decide to invest your money inside out. Don't think that just because you're investing, for example, $1,000, £1,000, then you can play with them. It's going to be an investment nonetheless. So some platform, for example, will charge you fees regardless. A platform that will charge you fees only on long-term loans if you decide to back up before the ending date. So make sure to know all this information beforehand. It is also true that over time, P2P is becoming more and more regulated because more and more people are getting involved, and also because of previous scandals. So this means that your money will be more and more secure when you lend them out. However, it is an investment nonetheless, so just make sure to know what you're doing 100%, okay? If you have any question for me, please do let me know in the comment below, and I'll be more than happy to answer to all of them, okay? Thanks for watching this video. This is Fabio Mezzogori, and I'll see you in the next one. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I put a lot of valuable information here on YouTube that help you to move the needle towards financial freedom or financial independence. So if you'd like me to notify you every time a new video is up, make sure to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you will not miss any new episode. And also, don't forget to smash that like button for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.